Have you ever smelled something, maybe fresh-cut grass, an old cassette tape, or even the pages of a dusty book, and suddenly felt like you'd traveled decades into the past? That's the strange power of memory. It doesn't always ask for permission. Sometimes it quietly pulls you back to a version of yourself you thought was long gone. If you grew up in America during the 1970s or 1980s, chances are those memories aren't just nostalgic. They help shape the way you think, solve problems, trust people, and handle stress today. Psychologists have long argued that childhood experiences become the blueprint for adult personality. And for Generation X, those experiences were unlike anything that came before or after. Let's explore 10 forgotten parts of growing up that may still be influencing your brain today. First, waiting for your favorite TV show. Today, entertainment is instant. You can watch an entire season in one night without thinking twice. But Gen X didn't have that luxury. If your favorite show aired once a week, missing it meant waiting another week, or sometimes forever. That simple reality trained patience in a way modern technology rarely does. Your brain learned that good things required waiting, and anticipation often became part of the reward itself. Second, getting lost without GPS. You memorize streets, landmarks, and shortcuts. Road trips often included paper maps spread across the dashboard while someone argued about which exit to take. Oddly enough, psychologists believe navigating physical environments strengthens spatial memory and encourages independent decision-making. You weren't following a voice. You were trusting your own judgment. Third, boredom. Children today often reach for a phone the moment they're bored. Gen X didn't have that option. Sometimes there was simply nothing to do. And that's exactly when imagination took over. Cardboard boxes became spaceships. Backyards became jungles. An empty afternoon became an adventure. Research suggests that boredom can increase creativity because the brain begins creating stimulation when none exists externally. Fourth, solving problems before searching for answers. When something broke, you tried fixing it. When you had a question, you asked someone, visited the library, or experimented until you figured it out. Instant answers weren't available. That process quietly built persistence. Instead of expecting immediate solutions, your brain became comfortable working through uncertainty. Fifth, friendships without constant contact. You didn't text every hour. Sometimes you didn't speak to your best friend for several days. Yet somehow the friendship survived. That taught an important psychological lesson. Relationships didn't require constant reassurance. Trust could exist even during silence. Sixth, playing outside until sunset. No fitness tracker. No scheduled activities every hour. Just bikes, sidewalks, neighborhood games, and endless movement. Physical play wasn't just exercise. It strengthened confidence, social skills, and emotional resilience. Small disagreements were often solved without adults stepping in. You learned negotiation by living it. Seventh, making mistakes in public. Embarrassing moments usually disappeared. There were no viral videos. No permanent online record. That gave children something modern generations rarely experience. The freedom to fail without feeling permanently judged. Psychologists know this kind of freedom encourages experimentation and healthy confidence. Eighth, limited technology. One television. One family phone. One chance to record your favorite song from the radio. Scarcity made ordinary experiences feel meaningful. When something required effort, your brain assigned it greater value. That's one reason many memories from that era remain surprisingly vivid decades later. Ninth, independence at an early age. Many Gen X kids learned responsibility long before adulthood. Cooking simple meals. Walking home alone. Helping younger siblings. Making small decisions without constant supervision. While it wasn't always easy, these experiences often strengthened self-reliance and problem-solving abilities. Finally, emotional resilience. The phrase, "you'll be okay," was heard often. Sometimes too often. Emotions weren't always discussed openly. Although that approach had its downsides, Many people from this generation developed an unusual ability to stay calm during difficult situations. Not because life was easy, but because they'd already practiced adapting to uncertainty from an early age. Looking back, these memories aren't valuable simply because they feel nostalgic. They're valuable because they reveal how ordinary experiences quietly shaped an entire generation. The waiting, the boredom, the independence, the freedom, the uncertainty. None of those moments felt extraordinary while they were happening. Yet together, they built habits, beliefs, and emotional patterns that lasted a lifetime. Psychology reminds us that personality isn't created in one dramatic event. It's built through thousands of ordinary moments that slowly teach the brain how the world works. And maybe that's why those old memories still feel so powerful. Because deep down, they aren't just memories. They're the foundation of the person you became.